knows what he or she is doing from the business side. Then the maker has basic hard skills such as basic computer science. He or she knows what the database is, what the API is, what the JavaScript is, so on. And one of the key skills is the experience of applying different tools, rather sophisticated pro-level tools like Directual, Bubble, etc. So one of such professional tools is Directual. From the top level of view, we could configure the database, set up business logic, and design the user interface. So Directual is a full stack no-code platform for creating different apps. And there are 4 key categories of the apps that could be built on Directual. First category is internal apps. There are different admin portals, CRMs, learning management system, portfolio management, and so on. The second category is blockchain apps, or in other words, Web3 apps. That is a trendy thing. The Web3 is blowing up these days. Actually, that's not something extremely new. Usually, Web3 apps include a lot of things from Web 2.0 apps, such as user interface, database, logic, etc. The only thing that is that Web3 app has is the integration with the blockchain. Then the third category is backend heavy apps. Directual is extremely scalable and it could process millions of events per minute. So if you want to build a sophisticated backend heavy apps to connect it with your traditional developed parts, such as data science model or traditional developed user interface, you could use Directual in that case. And the fourth category is smart chatbots, usually Telegram. Smart means that the chatbot could use the database, could be integrated with other tools. And let me look through the main modules of the platforms, what Directuals consist of. First is the database. Nothing outstanding, but the only thing that we should pay attention that the Directual database could have millions or even tens of millions of records without any problems, in comparison with Airtable, where the limit is about 50K records, which is nothing for this serious app. Then the API builder. Your database should have a programming interface, and Directual could provide you with one of the most powerful API builders where you could configure the role-based model, set up your RESTful API, manage webhooks, add filters, sorting, paging, etc. And recently we have added Swagger support. Then the scenarios, the heart of the platform, that is the real-time or scheduled logic. Those scenarios processes your objects at the abstract level, so they deal with different objects and their properties. That means that Directual scenarios are applicable almost for any business logic that you could imagine. Then integrations could be active. So passive integrations are API builder, and active integration means that you could call for external systems from Directual. Any system that has API could be connected with Directual easily. And one of the key things that we added this year is the integration with different blockchains. You could add into your app the distributed authentication via MetaMask or Trust Wallet. You could get the transactions and configure your business logic, your app logic, based on the information about transactions. You could perform transactions, you could manage wallets, NFTs, and etc. So I'll show a bit of that feature in our demo. And then, of course, the web page builder, the UI builder, it is focused on creating different admin portals, CRMs. So the design features are not so huge, are not so significant like in Bubble, but some tasks such as creating CRM or creating the admin portal or the user portal could be solved in no time. So before diving into masterclass, I could answer your questions and I'll describe a bit what I'm going to do. So that would be a simple app where a user could sign up, then upload the recipe of a dish, then admin approves or rejects that recipe, and the admin could send an NFT badge to best chefs among the group of users. So if you already have questions, I could answer it before starting building the product.
If there's any questions, I think anyone can just come off mute and go ahead and ask. Otherwise, we can do a Q&A at the end as well.
Yeah, I see there are a few questions on chat. So the first question, do the apps created in Directual need to be hosted on your server? There are two options. First option, host on our server. And the second option is coming. Next month, we will introduce the private cloud. You could go to the marketplace of the cloud provider. It could be Yandex Cloud, later Amazon. Pick Directual from the marketplace and install it on your private cloud. That will be available later this year. As of today, the only one option is available, hosting the app on Directual public cloud. Next, if I understand correctly, Directual could create smart contracts. Not exactly. Today, Directual could call smart contracts, but you have to develop the smart contract, put it in the blockchain, and then based on your app logic, you could call that smart contract. So NFT is a smart contract. We are calling NFT in our example. All right, let's start creating a simple app. And then if you have questions, you could type it into the chat. I'm monitoring it. So we are creating a new app that would be new product devs demo. I'm choosing one of the templates. The universal template is user portal with a profile, with password restoring, etc. There is a free plan. I could use it, but it is limited, so I am choosing the cheapest plan, startup, for our today's demo. But there is a free plan and you could play with it unlimited time. All right. So let us have a short overview of the user interface. The dashboard includes the stats of the load, of the app load, then logs, and the quick links to the main modules of the app. There are data structures. The system data structure app users includes the information about the users. That template contains some, I'm going to delete it. Then the web pages, those are the web pages of our app. That is the first page, the list of users. We don't need that page, so we will remove it from our website. Here we are. We could configure design. For example, choose one of the default themes, configure the menu that will look that. Next, the API section. The API includes the endpoints through which the external systems or our web pages are connected to the database. For example, I have the page profile, and if I register and if I sign in, I could get into the page, and the data will go through that API endpoint. Profile, there is a list of fields available for reading, for writing, and so on. And then the scenarios. The scenario for the new user, scenarios for resetting the password, etc. So let us start with our app. I would love to configure the signing up. I would love my users sign up with MetaMask, that is a Web3 authentication. I'm installing the plugin, MetaMask plugin, and I would love my users to restrict signing up only with MetaMask. So I'm going to the security tab on Web Portal settings, and I'm disabling authentication via login and password. So in this case, we are signing in, and we have only one option, sign in with MetaMask. So I'm doing that. Next. That is the Chrome plugin, MetaMask. All right, I have signed up. We could check the table app users. That is new app user. If we go to the profile, we could interact with the database via API endpoint and the component form. That is profile page, web page builder, and that is the component form, which works with the API endpoint profile. And we are editing those fields. So I could add the first name and the last name. All right. Let's have a look at the database, app users. That is it. The user without any password, because I'm signing in using MetaMask. The first name, the last name, everything is saved. All right. And now let's start with our app development. I'm going to create a catalog of dishes, the catalog of chefs, and then send the NFT. I have recently created a new NFT using Airtable. That is my catalog of NFTs. And that picture is a real NFT with a picture of best chef. that NFT will be transferred to the user according some logic. So first, we are going to add a new database. Let's name it dishes. And we are configuring the fields of that table, of the data structure. Let it be 3. Title, dish title, then picture, the system name and the displayed name. The system name should be typed in English letters. The displayed name could be in Chinese, in Russian, any language. Then the picture has the data type image, subtype of file. And then author, chef, the chef. That is the specific data type named link. We are linking to data structures using it one-to-one. We could link it one-to-many. App user. So we link the data structure dish to the app user. Saving. All right. Now we should add an API for adding dishes. We are creating a new endpoint, choosing the data table dish data structure, create dish, and we are setting up new security layer. That condition means that the endpoint is not public. In other words, the user has to be authorized in order to create something, to read or to write to the data. All right, let us keep that condition. Then at least one field should be available for reading and a few fields for writing. The link to the user, picture, and title. All right. Now we are going to add another page. Add dish. The plus icon. All right. And see, there is an icon of lock. It means that the page is available only for authorized users. Let's have a look. That is the new page, blank for now. Let's configure it now. We are adding a header. Then we could configure the layout. We could add different sections. We could add different columns, configure it, then configure the tablet view, mobile view. You see, in the mobile view, 2 containers are in a vertical manner, and here they are horizontal. All right, let's delete that section and drag and drop the form. We are choosing the endpoint that we just have created, create dish, and configuring the fields. We could hide the field chief link to the web user and set its automatic filling. We are including user's ID automatically to that field. All right, picture and the title. Saving. Let it be 400 pixels maximum width. Check. Voila. And we could play with it. For example, pasta, and we are dropping here the picture. All right, submit, submitted successfully. Let's go to the database and have a look what is happening there. All right, object has been created. The title, the picture, and the link to the user. All right, cool. Let's add another one, just burger. All right, cool. Next, I'm going to play with the role model. So there will be an admin who could see all the dishes, approve them, and only if they were approved, the dishes are showed to the public. So to do that, we are adding another field, is approved. That would be a field type of Boolean. We could configure Boolean. True label would be approved. And false label would be not approved. Next, we are going to add another page, manage dishes. The page for the admin. All right. I see it, but my user isn't an admin yet. I'm going to add here a condition. We are overriding portal security settings. The page would be accessible for authorized users with the role admin. All right. This disappeared. I'm going to the database of the users. Here is my user. I'm adding the role admin. There could be a few roles, for example, admin and I don't know, user. Comma separated. Right, save, and let us check. That is our page. Moreover, in order to see it fancier, I could add a group, administration. Here is administration manage dishes. I'm creating a new API endpoint for displaying the dishes and approving it. Dishes, manage dishes. A new security layer includes the condition to the user role. That the role should be like admin. I use like instead of equal because the user could have several roles. So that would be picture, chef, title is approved. For reading and for posting, ID, because if I want to change the object, the ID field should be available for reading and writing, both is approved. And here, ID. All right. Coming back to the UI builder, show header. And here I would love to use the cards view. Choosing the API endpoint, manage dishes. All right. Then let's have a look. All right, we see the IDs. If we choose the displayed name for the data structure here, structure visible name, it would be title. It will look that fancier way, pasta and burger. Moreover, if we want to see the chef with the first name and the last name, we are adding those fields in the API endpoint available for reading. Chef ID, first name, last name. So we could nest our API endpoint. Let us check another time. Chef, that is my name. And here I couldn't change that field. I couldn't change that field or the picture, but I could approve or not approve the dish. Here, save, approved, not approved. But that would be easier to approve it from that screen. So I'm going to configure. First, I'm going to configure the card to look at fancier. That include picture to the card. Picture. It could look that way. Or it could look nicer that way. There are different options. All right. And now I'm playing with actions on cards. I'm adding an action and approve. That is the name of the action. It would be a button. Accent, show on the card. I'm using the say API endpoint. So that is the API call from the object card. I'm filling the field approved to constant true. Tomorrow I need to indicate the ID in order to change that particular object, not to create a new one. I'm picking the object card and the ID. So that is the mapping. ID is the same, but approved true. All right, save. Here is it. Approve, approve. We approved it. But we need another button, disapprove, on that first dish, on pasta, because it is approved and I want to change it to disapproved. So we could use the conditionals, show the approve button if only the object field approved equals to false. All right, that picture has. If we're adding in a similar way, disapprove. The button and here on the card and configuring approved constant false. Don't forget to indicate the ID in order to change the object, not to create one. And the conditional object field approved true. All right, disapprove, approve, approve, disapprove. And here we could push it right here. Another option is to include it to the card drop-down menu here and here. Disapprove, approve. All right. Next, we are creating the public view for our dishes where we could filter the dishes and show only approved ones. So we are creating a new page. Let us name it menu. We'll have item. Moreover, I would love to have it public. So I'm overriding portal security settings and keep the accessible for non-authorized users. And the order would be 0 at the first place. All right, that is menu. And here I would use, for example, table, just for showing how it works. So I need to add another API endpoint, public one this time, which shows the approved dishes, and there would be no opportunity to change the objects using that public API endpoint. Dish, menu, menu. I'm removing the conditional here, the conditional user session, and get title, picture, and chef. First name, last name. And here we are adding a filter. And the filter includes approved equals true. Another cool feature of filters is using your user data. So for instance, if I wanted to show the user only his or her objects, I would configure the filter in the following way. For example, chef equals to ID. That filter would mean that the only user who has logged in as that particular chef user would see those objects. For now, I'm removing that condition and keep only is approved true. All right. And we could have a look at the response right from here. You could see that only one object is approved, burger. I believe so. Yeah, pasta was disapproved. So let us check one more time. 2 objects are here. So we are coming back to configuring our table, menu. We are turning off the quick search, configuring the table. Picture would display as an image, chef, and title. Now let's have a look at the menu. All right, perfect. So next, we could configure, for example, ordering the dishes from the menu. Or for now, let's have a look at the similar mechanism. I'm going to send NFT best chef from my admin portal here. I'm adding another page, best chef contest. All right, something. That would be administration, best chef contest. Here, I would love to have the list of chefs, or that could be a list of dishes, and we will send an object from the connected card just for the demonstration purposes. So here I having the cards, manage dishes, then the object. I don't want to see approved, picture, chef. Chef would be clickable. I will see first name and last name. Chef. Saving and clicking. Pasta burger, and I can click to the chef, and I see the sub page, sub card. And I would love to have an action, send NFT to chef. That would be a button. Accent. Call from the linked card. We're choosing chef, and we will use another API endpoint. So let us save for now and construct the new API endpoint. Chef, and that is the send NFT, but action does nothing. We are going to API endpoints, and we are going to create a kind of an action. So we have to have a data structure, actions, where send NFT. Configure the fields. First, user, whom to send. That would be a link to the web user. And another could be who sent. That would be another link to the web user in order to track who particularly clicked the button. All right, we're adding a new API endpoint for creating those objects. Send NFT. New API layer ID, and here ID, whom to send and who sent. All right. Coming back here to the configuration of an action, send NFT from the linked card, and we are using the send NFT API endpoint. Field mapping, who sent, user ID, who is working with the interface, and whom to send, linked card ID. Save, and let's check. Pasta, chef, click. All right. Go into the database, send NFT. Perfect. We have that object. The thing is that the same user clicked and the same user added the dish. That was I. Nevertheless, we are going to create a new scenario of sending NFT. There are few scenario triggers for all the new objects, for all the changed objects, and scenario could work in a scheduled manner. So in this case, we're processing the new objects. All right. But first of all, we have to have some NFT to send. And we are going to add another data structure. We are calling that NFT. We are configuring it. So NFT should have the contract. Then token ID. and the flag that is available. In other words, could we, as soon as we send the NFT, it becomes unavailable for us because we are transferring it from one user to another. And that should be Boolean, or is unavailable. If true, so unavailable is true. All right. We're adding the new object, that NFT that I wanted to send, this one. So I'm going to the blockchain, Polygon blockchain. That is a contract. Copy it. Unavailable, false. And the ID. Here it is, the ID, but it's long, so I'm copying it from the browser here. Contract. All right. Now I'm adding the plugin NFT to work with it. Extremely easy. Just click install. Then I need to find the free NFT from my database. I'm using the search step. So the search step is looking an object from the table, for example, NFT, and the result would be array of links, the number of items. I need to save the result somewhere. So for that, I'm adding another variable in context named context variable as well, NFT. That would be a link to NFT data structure. That one. All right. Here I'm saving it into the context NFT, and the condition would be really easy, that unavailable not equal to true. Next, the condition. So in order to make the scenarios more readable, I am adding comments. So searching for NFT. And I'm checking if there are free NFTs. That context variable NFT is not empty. If yes, if no, exit. If empty, if yes, we are calling the NFT step here. The network, Polygon, contract address, variable, NFT contract, receiver would be the user, whom to send, the ID of the user, and token ID. Context NFT is token ID, and the private key, the key of the wallet that has the NFT. That could be a secret key or the secret phrase. That is it. And type of transfer, ERC 721. After that, I'm changing the linked object context has the link to the object, unavailable, true. We couldn't work with that NFT anymore. Publish and run. So this scenario will process each and every new object that we send. So let us create poster, chef, send NFT. All right. Let's have a look at the logs. Missing E, notation exponential mark. Let us check another contract token. Probably the typo in the NFT. Mm-hmm. We could use debug to send the object manually into this scenario. The same thing. Nikita, are you following? Do you know what? So that NFT thing is extremely fresh. We just have released it today for our webinar. Nikita, do you know what I'm doing wrong? Nevertheless, that would be a thing for us to think it over. So basically, I have covered almost all the modules of the platform on that small example. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to share my knowledge about Directual.
Yeah, feel free. I think there were some questions in the chat that were answered as we went along, but you should also be able to come off mute if you want to just ask a question that way. That might be better. If you can't, then just put it in the chat. Yeah, it looks like some of the questions as we went along were answered. I don't know if you want to look at those and address them publicly, but for sure, ask any questions. Right now, this would be the best time. Thank you for that presentation.
Just a short comment. I just mingled token ID and contract ID. If we change the places of these two things and send the object again here, it would work correctly. All right. Everything works fine. And here we could check my wallet. So everything works. Only the mistakes are mine. So here, wallet, NFTs. If we change the NFT will appear in a couple of minutes, so we could proceed. Yep, Art?
Yep, I'm here. Awesome. Yeah, let's add any questions. This would be the time to ask them. I think this worked out. Thanks everyone for hopping over to this Google Meet. Still have no idea what happened, but we'll make sure that I think somebody's recording this, so get the recording and share it out to everyone. I know you covered a lot here, so we'll make sure we get the recording and share it. So if you want to replay any part of it, you can. But yeah, any questions, just go ahead and pop off mute or ask them in the chat. Thank you for doing that.
Don't consider that webinar as a tutorial or something like that. That was just a demo. There are a lot of tutorials available on our YouTube for free. You could reach us out on chat or on our community in Discord. So we would be happy to help you with building anything.
Awesome. Anyone want to ask a question? Liz says, thank you. There were several questions as we went along, by the way. I don't know if you saw all of them, but I think they were all answered.
I see that Nikita answered almost all the questions. Thank you, Nikita, for assisting me. So Nikita is the co-founder. He's a chief technical, as you could guess.
What are the operation limits? This question that just came through.
So the operation limits are the following. Let me present one more time the screen. The limits are rather solid. If we see at the dashboard, those are the counters, and the billing, the limits includes requests, processing load, and the limits on the cheapest plan are really high, 30K operations. If we have a look at the pricing page, there we'll see the limits for the business plan, for pro plan. There are 2 million requests, 2 million processing operations. So that seems absolutely enough for the app of any size. All right, thank you. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach us via chat or email.
Yeah, thanks so much for doing this. Really appreciate it. And thanks everyone who joined today.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, everyone.